What is up, guys? Karataka here, and today I'm here with another Digimon deck profile. Today we'll be going over the Armor Rush BT-13 version of the build. So let's go right into the Digitomas first. So for the Digitomas, we're running 4 of the Magnamon and 1 of the Chacomon. So we're running 5 Digitomas just because this is a rush version of the deck. So a lot of times you're going to be spawning a lot of eggs. So even if you're not Digivolved yet, you might push your rookie out just to attack and whatnot. So running 5 Digitomas will be ideal for this kind of deck. Next, let's move on to the level 6s. So we're running 4 of the Magnamon X Antibody. This is your main wall deck. You're going to use this to block most of your opponent's attacks. And when he does die, or leaves, when he does die, he'll be able to trash the top card and go into security instead, so you can still have a body on the board. So he's pretty good. Next, for the level 5s, we're running 3 of the Chacomon from BT-13. So this is here for some recovery plays as well as an extra attack when you do manage to attack with your armor forms, and then if they're still on the board, you can jogger's into this one and go for another attack. So it's pretty solid. I don't have space for more though, because I do want to run more of the armor forms since those are your main attackers. But this one is good for extra pokes and whatnot. Next, we are going to be running 4 of the Magnamon from BT-13. So this is your blocker as well as your attacker. This is a really solid card. It's still really good in this day and age, just because it has armor purge. So when it dies, you can still have your rookie on the board. And when this card digivolves, you can make it active again, and you get 2000 DP for every armor form in your trash, which is pretty good for making it really big and having him be able to beat over big Digimon. So very good, and you can use him for multiple attacks, so very solid. Next, we are going to be running 4 of the Magnamon from BT-13. So this is the other blocker. As you can see, this deck is pretty defensive. When it leaves the field, when it leaves the battle area for any reason, you can draw 1, and then you can play a Vmon from your hand or underneath this card's source. So you'll be able to spawn another body on the board and potentially use it for either a Drago's play or just set up for another blocker if you have another Magnamon in your hand. Next, for the other attackers in the deck, we're running 2 Flame Hermon. This is just here for a beater. It being a potential 8k is pretty good. It just helps you start things up early game for attackers. Maybe when your Magnamon hasn't built up enough armor forms in the trash, you can use this as one of your attackers. Next, we're running 2 Ragermons. This is just to help you rest some level 4 blockers or level 4 Digimons on the board if you want to beat over them and whatnot. This is here for that. It's also searchable with Davis. So if you have Davis and you're searching for green and blue, you can use this as your green quota instead of your blue quota. So it's pretty good for that. Alright, next we're running 2 of the Golden Vigilmon. This is from EX4. It's another addition to the deck, and it's got a pretty solid effect. It's just minus your opponent's DP by 2000 power on evolution, and if you have a yellow or blue Hermon in play, you can choose, or armor form in your trash, you can choose one of your opponent's 6000 less DP Digimon, and it can't attack or block. So it's another way to stun your opponent. So it's pretty versatile, and the main thing is that it can digivolve into a Vmon for 2 cost. Next, moving on to level 1s, we're running 4 of the Dual Color Searcher Vmon. Just search for the top 4 cards of your deck, and then you can add a dual color to your hand, which all your armor forms are. Next, we're running 4 of the Free Type Searcher Vmon. This searches for your Davis as well as your Vmon, or your free types, so it's pretty good. And also it has the Jogger's ability of if it goes at every turn, you can Jogger's. So if you want to do a recovery play, you can Jogger's into this one as an extender, which is pretty good. Next, we're running 2 of the Jamming Vmons. This is also a really important card of the deck, just because if you attack with your armor forms and they crash, If you have an extra security check, and that check is a lot, like you check into a bigger Digimon, it having jamming will be beneficial for staying alive, so you can keep your body on the board. So yeah, pretty good. Also, it's just solid for early game attacks. So 4 of the jamming Vmons. Thanks for also running 2 of the Start Deck 8 Vmons. This deck card is not as good as some of the other cards out there right now. Mainly because you'll be able to replenish your hand pretty fast, and so its inherent skill won't be as good later on in the game. But we're running 2 just because if you happen to get into this early game, it will help you replenish your hand. So it's pretty good for that. If you want to run something else, for example, if you want to run the Vmon from EX1 that helps you get memory when you unsuspend, that's also an option. So yeah, don't hesitate to adjust your Vmon ratios. Some people might even just cut these down to 3-3, which is also fine. But yeah, it's up to you guys. I kind of like these searches more because in conjunction with the new Magnamon, you can just get a lot more search power with them. So yeah. All right, next for the tamers, we're running 3 of the Searcher Tamer Davis that also helps you reset, and also 2 of the Davis and Kens. This is just to help you unsuspend your armor forms when you Digivolve. So this is really solid. I'm actually considering bumping this up to 3 and bumping this down to 2, just because this card's skill is actually more handy than your setter, but your setter will be pretty good. It's important to get your setter early game, so that's why I'm running 3 right now. But I feel like late game, it's more important to have more attacks with your armor forms. So I might bump this up to 3 for that reason. But you guys can try it out yourself and see which one you like more. Next, for the options, we're running 4 of the... What's this called? This is called Awakening of the Golden Digizoid. So this lets you Digivolve your armor forms into a Magnamon in your hand, a Magnamon name card in your hand, so you can Digivolve into your X antibody. And then until the end of your opponent's turn, it can't be reduced, DP deducted. So it's quite good against Shine Greymon matchups, just because a lot of their removal is DP deduction based, and this will help your armor forms survive a bit longer, or your Magnamon survive a bit longer. So yeah, but it is still prone to getting just beat over, so be careful of that. Next, for the options, we're running 3 of the Rocket Flame Rocket. So Flame Rocket just helps you get extra security check. You choose one of your blue color Digimon and it gets 1 security check. And if you have armor form on the field, you can ignore the color requirement. So this is one of your cards you want early game to help beat your opponent's security in. Very important. And we're also running 1 Ice Wall just for the stalls. And we're running 2 blue memory boosts since everything in this deck is blue. It is searchable. So that's it for this deck, guys. It's a very, very, very fun deck to play. And it's also a lot more consistent now. With the addition of a new Magnamon, the deck is just running a lot smoother than it was before. So I really, really like this deck. It's really, really fun to play. And yeah, I think it definitely deserves more representation, just because we didn't get a lot of new cards, but the new cards that we did get helped the deck a lot. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a showcase for this deck soon, but stay tuned for more video, guys. I will be doing more deck profiles in the upcoming weeks, and then I'll be doing the showcases afterwards. Just because I don't really have time to record the matches and do the editing just yet. But yeah, we'll be back soon with more of those. So yeah, this is Kardaku. If you guys want to support the channel, feel free to use the affiliate link down below. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace! Bye!